Good day guys, so today I'm here to discuss the body cavity. So let's start. As you can see, this is the example of the cranial cavity. As you can see here, this portion here called the cranial cavity. Cranial cavity, it is the anterior portion of the dorsal cavity consisting the space inside the skull. This cavity contains the brain and the meninges of the brain and the cerebrospinal of the brain. So here, this is the cranial cavity here, this part. And this part here called the dorsal cavity. The dorsal cavity, it is the cavity in the back of the body. This part here called the thoracic cavity. Thoracic cavity is an anterior central cavity found within the rib cage in the torso. This is the spinal cavity. The red line, the curved line here called the spinal cavity. Yeah. The spinal cavity is the space occupied by the spinal cord enclosed by the vertebrae column making up the backbone. So the next part here called the ventral cavity. Ventral cavity is the interior space in front of the body. Contains many different organ systems. The organ within the ventral cavity are also called viscera. The ventral cavity has anterior and posterior portion divided by the diaphragm, a sheet of skeletal muscles found beneath the lungs. So this is the ventral cavity. As you can see here. So this part here called the abdominal cavity. Abdominal cavity is the largest hollow space in the body. This part here called the pelvic cavity. Yep, that's pelvic cavity. Pelvic cavity begins at the level of the sacral promontory posteriorly and the pubic symphysis anteriorly. So this part here, from here to there, called the abdominal pelvic cavity. It is the posterior central body cavity found beneath the thoracic cavity and diaphragm. It is generally divided into the abdominal and pelvic cavities.